we marched all around Seattle. We were blocked by police over by the Sheraton Hotel, and there were horses coming towards the crowd, and people had to move out of the way for fear of being kicked. And basically we turned around after sitting peacefully for a good half an hour, headed back the other direction, marched around Seattle for probably about 10 more blocks, ended up here in Westlake Center, sat down peacefully, started singing, we're peacefully assembling, and they're threatening us with arrest. I think that there are no charges. I don't think that there is any legal action that the police can take. I think that these people are peacefully assembled. I believe that that's legal. We are a democracy. I don't understand why we're being surrounded. We're not hurting anyone. We're not destroying property. We're not blocking anyone from getting to work. The police are doing that for us. We just really, really don't agree with what the WTO is doing worldwide. I think that the effect of the WTO on labor, on the environment, on children's rights, it couldn't be worse. It's absolutely, absolutely horrible. The globalization of economics worldwide will only strengthen corporations, multinational corporations, and weaken the populace.
Just say no to the WTO! Just say no! Just say no! Just say no to the WTO! Just say no to the WTO! Just say no to the WTO! Just say no to the WTO!
That was Maxon.
The whole world is watching. Let them go. The whole world is watching. Let them go. 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 Let them go.
Up next. Your eyeball big. Get the guy with the ball.
And all I was trying to do is get some pictures, because you don't see this every day, and these dumb fucks were harassing seen everybody launching their little concussion grenades at anybody that tried to take a picture. So I'm personally not big fan of dumb blocks. Which of course you may not be a dumb block. The one on the Broadway is probably fucking bad.
Fuck you, announce it!
Tell you what, let's get out. Let's
Yeah. What do you tell your kids?
Have you heard from Sideburn or as is, if it stays mellow? You don't know? Wow, take care. Take care.
Citizens have come down to downtown Seattle today to talk to citizens and let them know what's going on with the World Trade Organization. And the government's decided that they don't want citizens to educate other people about what they're doing behind closed doors. Secrecy is not something that we've wanted in a democratic system. We want freedom of expression, freedom to assembly, and freedom to get our message out. We're nonviolent, we're not hurting anyone. All we want to do is tell people that the corporations do not have the best interests of the citizens.
Is there anything illegal about this protest here today?
Well, the police over the years have used something we call unlawful assembly. Now, I don't remember reading that anywhere in the Constitution of an unlawful assembly. In other countries around the world, you're not allowed to have 2, 3, 4, 20 people meet. And if we don't allow people to meet, we'll move closer and closer to that kind of tyrantry. Right now, there's people all over the world that aren't even allowed to speak. Like in Burma, the elected leader of that country with 80% of the vote has been under house arrest for 9 years. We're here today to speak for her and for the other people of Burma that aren't allowed to speak.
What went down this morning?
The police decided that citizens cannot gather and educate themselves on issues, and that if any people are going to protest, they're going to get arrested. So I think in Seattle right now we have a no protest law where anyone who wants to speak out against what the corporations and governments are doing to our water, air, trees, and labor will go to jail. We are getting closer and closer every day to martial law. If we don't stop this now, we will be at martial law. We have to remember the histories of the past. In the past, we had regimes like Hitler, where they would grab one group of people and put them in jail. Everyone said, thank God, it's not me. It's just that one group of people. And then Hitler went and got another group of people, and he put them in jail. And the people said, thank God, it's not me. And then he went another group, and another group, and another group, till there's just one group left. And they said, where are all the other people to help me? And that's what we need right now, is solidarity among all fronts. Labor, white class, blue class, blacks, Africans, green people, blue people, to unite against this oppressive regime that's not allowing citizens to assemble. What is unlawful assembly? It's against everything this country was built on.
Do we have that kind of unity right now?
No. Citizens right now are uneducated because the corporations own the media. Westinghouse owns CBS. General Electric owns NBC. Disney owns ABC. Turner owns CNC. These people are getting money off the status quo. If the status quo is changed, they make less money. Their stockholders make less money. There's no reason for GE to tell people that there was a nuclear explosion or nuclear contamination, or that our water supply is polluted, because then their stockholders lose money.
Revolutionary Communist Party. It's off of Jenny and Broadway. People got to check out the full story. Get down with what it's going to be like to really make a
Yeah, well, I was there. I saw how it escalated. I think the police department and I think, you know, a power over their heads made a conscious decision that they were going to brutalize people, you know, to push them around, to use force rather than to arrest people yesterday. I saw hundreds, thousands of people of conscience sitting in the streets that had come to practice nonviolent civil disobedience in a great American tradition, that had come to throw their bodies at the gears of the corporate machine represented by the WTO. And in fact, we had had substantive conversations with the Seattle Police Department leading up to this protest, telling them there was a couple ways we could help facilitate that, and asking for a place where we could have a line crossing where grandmothers would feel comfortable going across. We had the raging grannies, you know, wanted to get arrested, and you know, we wanted to have that place where, and we could have sent people to them 5 or 10 at a time, any way that they really wanted it to happen. They could have put people on a bus, processed them on the bus, you know, and done something like this. And we, you know, you see how fast they arrested 200 people just now. They could have arrested a couple thousand people in a few hours, no problem.
Yeah, so that was the big mistake.
So they decided to tear gas people and shoot rubber bullets in the street instead. And those were people of conscience. The people that you know, rioted in the streets yesterday and that damaged a lot of property around here, you know, were not the people that got brutalized yesterday.
Hooligans, I think the mayor called them.
I'd agree with the mayor there. I mean, I think you look at the property they destroyed. It's a pretty focused riot here against a lot of multinational corporations that are doing, you know, I mean, if you think about the violence, you know, perpetrated against the Gap right across the street, it's nothing compared to the sweatshops that they operate and the violence they perpetrate on a daily basis against working people.
They didn't use cars. So you think it's going so far? They used to use cars a lot. Much better today.
Much better today. I talked to Captain Pugil today, you know, and you know, we agreed to disagree on how yesterday unfolded. We agreed we were going to stay in communication, and we agreed that we would try to facilitate nonviolent protests from here on out and not let it escalate out of control, that they wouldn't brutalize anybody else, and that we would, you know, really try to do our best to stay poised in the face of all this brutality. Train activists in the use of nonviolent civil disobedience. We do action camps around the country. We've trained about 1,500 activists. We have a paid staff of 3 and about 120 trainers and volunteers around the U.S.
Is this the worst violence you've seen yet in a demonstration?
Absolutely.
How long have you been involved in nonviolent?
10 years. I've been arrested, I don't know, 25 times. I've never seen anything like this. Have you ever seen anything like this? Have you seen the use of any outside of the United States?
You're right.
Out of the line now. Move out.
You're on the other side.
Huh?
You're coming for me.
Hey, sir, I need you to move through the line or back out. This group needs to either move back into that group or through the line, please. Right now. Move. Let's go. One or the other, please. Either move out. Go back and let you.
I'm trying to get to the market.
On this moment, on yesterday. So I've been up and back several times since then. I've been on the ground for about a week.
A quick follow-up to our earlier conversation. Is this more, we talked earlier about how you wanted the arrest rather than assault yesterday. Is this more of what?
Yeah, absolutely. This is much more respectful engagement today. I mean, they're way overdressed. You know, oh, I'm sorry. There's way too many of them. You know, I mean, they're posturing themselves in a really aggressive way, but I think they're dealing with people and respecting their humanity today in a way that I didn't see yesterday.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So what happens in one of your training camps?
I've been here protesting the WTO, and this morning I came out to continue that a little bit and support the people that have been sitting and being very peaceful and non-violent all day.
Why aren't they letting you protest?
I'm not really sure. I think basically because of the damage that was done last night to the buildings and downtown, which was not part of the non-violent protest of yesterday.
The media is pretty much portraying like all the protests together as like, and then like, you know, a few people of that protest being violent.
I don't think that's well, I think everybody that was here protesting the WTO this week has been very peaceful, nonviolent, and showing solidarity and unity of many different groups. And then you've got like like you said, a handful of people who just are taking advantage of that and see it as a chance to do some damage and fight the system, the police that they haven't agreed with. And, it's making a bad name for all the nonviolent protests.
How do you feel about the whole thing? Yeah.
I think it was great. I think it's been a great experience, and I think that people have learned a lot about getting together and unifying as a whole to protest one large organization such as the WTO. And I'm a little bit disappointed in the way the city was trashed last night, and obviously with the brutality from the police with the tear gas and the rubber bullets. I think that they've overreacted. That's my own personal opinion. I think that it was primarily a peaceful day yesterday, and it's sad that it had to be ruined with the tear gas and all that.
Pamphlet on imperialist globalization.
Walking south of here, trying to come down in the morning to meet with people to do protests around 7 o'clock. We're in a group of about 6. They stopped us just suddenly on a corner, weren't even expecting it. And the officer straight up told us it was because of the way we were dressed and the way we looked, you know, not carrying weapons, not doing anything wrong. He tried to kind of isolate one girl because she had a pair of goggles, you know, apparently, obviously, because they were tear gassing people yesterday and he didn't want to get tear gassed again. So he ran her ID and tried to isolate her, but we stayed with her. We went back to a place where a lot of people were meeting up at, and they've been isolating people all morning, been going around and just randomly arresting. We saw a man arrested with a drum, no socks. Tiva's just trying to walk around. He was arrested, cuffed, thrown in the car. Didn't look like they had any reason. They didn't search him. They didn't find any weapons. They just grabbed him and took him. And they've been doing that with groups of 1 to 4 or 5 all morning. Sounds like there's been lots more arrests than yesterday.
What did they say to you?
The cop that had us?
Yeah, what was their reasoning?
That we looked like protesters, that we weren't allowed to protest. He said specifically, you can't go down this way, we're not allowed to protest.
And where were you?
Do you remember his words?
Yeah, well, basically, okay, from the beginning of our walk down here towards the protest in the morning, they had a grid system blockade with regular cops with like half riot gear on. And like I said, regular cops because they were only in half riot gear. So anyway, They were on a grid system where there was.
He's on a short battery.
They're on every corner, and yeah, we came down and we finally got. We actually the only cops we passed by. That weren't arresting someone else was this one guy. So the first cop we passed by that wasn't arresting someone else started talking to us. Said, "No, stop here." And he said, let's see his exact words. He stopped us. He asked us what we were doing, and we said, "Yeah, we're just walking around." And he said, "Do you live in Seattle?" "No, none of us live in Seattle." "Do you work in Seattle?" "No, none of us work in Seattle." And we said, "Why? Do we have to work in Seattle, walk around the streets?" And then he said, "Well, it looks to me like He said, "We got calls in to stop anybody looking suspicious, like they're going to do suspicious activity, and you all look very suspicious to me right now." And
they're coming through,
so
aren't they?
we said, "Why do we look suspicious?" And one member of our group was a woman wearing, well, she wasn't. She had them on her head,